At this time, we ask that you stand as we pay honor to America with the playing of our national anthem by the South High Cougar Band under the direction of Mr. Darren Brooks. You may be seated. My name is Angelina Maybrier, and I'm the Senior Class Vice President. On behalf of the entire class of 2022, we'd like to welcome family, friends, teachers, administrators, the Board of Education, and our loved ones who aren't able to be here. Today is the day we've all been waiting for. We can finally stop counting down the days and call ourselves a high school graduate. This is the end of senioritis and turning things in last minute, kinda like this speech. It's not only an honor, but a privilege to have gained our knowledge and wisdom from South High. Our teachers were not only our role models, but people we could depend on no matter what. I hope you remember this day for the rest of your lives. Cherish this moment. Be proud of how far you've come and what you've accomplished. We are here to celebrate you and your success. So once again, congratulations class of 2022, and may all of you succeed in the years ahead. Senior ensemble members will now be performing the musical selection as time goes by under the direction of Mr. Eddie Creer. At this time, would all senior ensemble members please make your way to the front.
This doesn't feel shaky at all.
I'm gonna die.
Look, Macy's here.
The microphone's like right there. You can hear it. Hi.
We are very privileged to have the talents of our senior ensemble and the South High Band at our graduation ceremony today. Please give them all another round of applause. It is my honor to welcome family, friends, and guests to the commencement celebration for the Salina South High School graduating class of 2022. Today truly is a great day to be a Cougar. At this time, I would like to recognize several dignitaries for their hard work this past year. All of the South High School faculty and staff members who are in attendance today, please stand. I've been honored to work with this faculty and staff of South High in helping guide and support our students in order to reach this milestone today. It has been yet another year of transition in education, and for our faculty and staff. We began the year anticipating pandemic-related changes. We started the school year in masks, in seating charts, monitoring COVID-19 cases and quarantines, and hoping that we would remain in school and that students would be in a more normal routine. Fortunately, there was not a transition to remote or modified schedules, and second semester masks became optional, and we could see our staff and students' smiling faces. Thank you for your countless hours designing and executing exemplary instruction, and thank you especially for overcoming the external stresses throughout the year in order to meet the needs of our students. Please join me in applauding our passionate and dedicated faculty and staff. Thank you, and you may be seated. Additionally, I would like to recognize the people joining us on the platform. I would ask that they stand and as they are introduced, and that the applause is held until all of the names have been read. I'd like to begin by recognizing the USD 305 Board of Education members for their commitment to the students of Salina Public Schools. Many do not realize that they volunteer their time, that they spend countless hours reviewing policies and proposals, attending meetings and training sessions, as well as spending a great deal of time at school and district events. Representing the USD 305 School District are Board President Jim Fletcher, Vice President Ann Zimmerman, Mark Bondre, Scott Gardner, Gabe Grant, Dana Casso, and Bonnie Schamberger, and USD 305 Superintendent Lynn Exline. Representing Salina Virtual Innovation Academy, Principal Tracy Hutton. Representing South High School, Assistant Principal Julie Falcon, Assistant Principal Ryan Stewart, Senior Counselor Heather Smith, and Senior Class Sponsor Larry Nutter. And today's special guest, Tyler Smith. Thank you for your hard work, and thank you for your dedication. When I think back on the past 4 years, 2 of which I've had the privilege of spending with these students, the class of 2022 certainly has had to face unique challenges. And I think the best word to describe being here today is fortunate. We're all fortunate to witness this year's graduating class's success and accomplishment. We are fortunate to have the opportunity to celebrate together as a family, a school, and a community. I'm very fortunate as well, honored to be here witnessing this important milestone in these students' lives. I wish to thank them for representing South High School so well. I also wish to thank them for decorating my office the other day with brightly colored balloons, a veritable rainbow of sticky notes, and some well-placed silly string. It certainly brightened my office and my day. High school is possibly the most influential time to grow socially, emotionally, and intellectually. It is a time to develop effective habits and routines, as well as create social connections that will be remembered and cherished for the rest of your lives. We're all fortunate to have been allowed the chance to interact and connect with each other in the classroom, in the hallways, and at events. Although these students have had to learn new technology and new ways to communicate and learn via Zoom and Google, this year they've been able to gather for presentations, productions, activities, and athletic events. This group of seniors have made the most of the opportunities that they've had the fortune of being granted, and we are all fortunate for being there with them. In the future, as they reflect on their experiences in high school, they will have very unique stories to tell. Seniors, I commend each and every one of you for making the most of your high school career and wish you nothing but the best in your future. Thank you for being such a great senior class. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce today's guest speaker. Each year, it is a steadfast tradition that the senior class officers decide upon who they would like to invite to speak at commencement. This year, we are fortunate to have Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith is a native Kansan born and raised in El Dorado. First and foremost, Tyler Smith is dedicated to his family. He is husband to Shauna, and together they have two daughters, Blakely, who is 6, and Everly, who is 3. After graduating from El Dorado High School, Mr. Smith played baseball at Northwestern Oklahoma State, as well as Bethany College. He graduated from Bethany with a bachelor's degree and later received his master's degree in physical education from Fort Hays State University. After graduating college, Mr. Smith taught in England for 6 years. After his experience in England, Mr. Smith moved back to El Dorado, where he taught special education for 3 years. He then moved to Salina, where he was a physical education teacher at Schilling Elementary for 1 year. And for the last 7 years, Mr. Smith has been teaching physical education at South High. Mr. Smith coaches football and baseball. Additionally, some of you might have heard Tyler on the radio providing color commentary for the Southeast of Saline Trojan basketball. Tyler is highly regarded by our students, as illustrated by being selected to speak here today. He's an energetic and engaging teacher and displays a passion to encourage students to succeed. Mr. Barkley, a physical education teacher who works closely with Mr. Smith, calls Tyler a team player with an upbeat approach. Mr. Barkley also mentioned that Mr. Smith would do anything for any of us and our kids. I'm honored and pleased to introduce our distinguished speaker, Mr. Smith.
Distinguished administrators, faculty, staff, parents, and relatives of the class of 2022, and most importantly, you, the class of 2022. I am beyond honored to stand here before you today and deliver your commencement speech. But before we get any of this started, as a coach, I always have to have multiple game plans. There's 2 speeches prepared today. I have to understand what kind of energy you're going to bring. It's Sunday. It's 5 o'clock start time. I'm assuming a lot of you have long weekends. I need you to stand up right now. Everybody, the class of 2022, please stand up. It's a very simple exercise, and I'm not going to judge you either way. But you understand how it goes. I say C-O-U-G, and I'm pretty sure you know how to answer. And this will determine which way the rest of tonight goes, okay? C-O-U-G. 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 Excellent job. You may be seated. Okay, as all of us teachers can attest to, USD 305 loves classroom rules. So before we start, here are our own graduation rules. Rule number 1, do not hit the griddy across this stage. You might think it's cool. You might try to go viral doing it. Scoville, I'm looking at you. I promise you, I will go more viral because I'm going to tackle you on the other side. In fact, let's call a truce right here. None of us need to be a part of any TikTok challenges or devious licks. Let's keep all mirrors, soap dispensers, toilets, sinks, and bathroom necessities intact. Deal? Good. Rule number 2, This thing's gonna be a lot easier if you guys give me a sympathetic laugh every once in a while. So if things get a little awkward, just give me a laugh. Appreciate that. Rule number 3. Okay, this is more advice than a rule. You're gonna get your picture taken a lot. All right, these hand gestures, Jet, and this, don't do them. You're gonna regret it later. Rule number 4, walk normal. A lot of you have brand new shoes today. You got brand new Air Forces. You got brand new Jordans. Nobody cares about creasing your shoes in the real world. And finally, rule number 5, there will be a moment that I will need complete audience participation. We have a group project, and that's every single one of you. So when I ask of that, I need you all to step in. As a physical education teacher, this is the top of the mountain. In a profession stereotyped with a whistle, wearing shorts, sweats, hoodies, and limping around barking orders, no pun intended to my esteemed colleague Chris Barkley, this is the peak. One of the first things you learn in PE school is all the list of famous people that were once PE teachers. At the top of our list, Mr. T. And despite all the fun things that Mr. T has done in his life, blowing up stuff for the A-team, knocking out Rocky Balboa in Rocky 3, and wrestling with Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 1, all that stuff's pretty cool, but nothing beats what I'm doing today. So take that, Mr. T. Class of 2022, do me a favor. I'm a big baseball guy. And in the game of baseball, a tip of the cap is the ultimate sign of respect and a thank you. So I want you to find your family right now, and I want you to tip your cap to them. Whether they have been supportive of you or not, whether you have always got along or not, they are here today to celebrate you. Secondly, please give a tip of the cap to everybody on this stage. School board members, school administration, and Superintendent Mrs. Exline. Whether you agree or disagree with their actions over the last year and 2 years, 2.5 years. It was their leadership and clear communication with families, staff, and the community that has gotten us to this day through all of the obstacles that COVID-19 has presented. Finally, a tip of the cap to your teachers. It's no secret that our profession is under fire now more than ever. Our curriculum, our textbooks, and our libraries. But my colleagues, your teachers, continue to fight every single day to work and make Salina High School South a learning environment second to none. Thank all of you guys. I thank you. And now I know what you're thinking. As family and friends, you've got to be thinking, my son, my daughter just navigated 13 years worth of school, including a pandemic. Like a pandemic. I honestly had zero idea what that word meant until March of 2020. We went through a full-blown nationwide shutdown. We followed every COVID protocol, masks, hybrid schedules, at-home learning, and a full quarter in 2020 that just kind of didn't happen. Okay, and after all of that, you get stuck with a lousy PE teacher to deliver your commencement speech? I understand, I'd be hacked off too, but we're good. I am the right person for this. I was with some of you at Schilling your 5th grade year, and I've had the pleasure of getting to know a lot of you with my 4 different PE classes. Not that I'm counting how many preps I have to do. I've tried really hard to get to know you. I've taken pride in getting to know you. Getting to know you has always been my mission. I know that the moment I began discussing graduation rules, Addie Weisser started rolling her eyes, and she started waiting for me to stop because she wanted to get things going. I know Trenton Hodges immediately stopped listening the second I said the word rules. I know that Laney Howard has probably already cried at least once today, maybe twice. I know that Cameron Preble, Bryson Mitchell, and Shelby Stolzenberg will each be missed by their teachers for their quiet leadership and strong work ethic. I know that Jarrett Dietrich, Brant Cox, Emmy Latham, and Brandon Fletcher are teacher aides in a special ed physical education class and are bigger heroes than anyone else in those students' eyes. I know that Gabe Smith provided more laughs for me in an advanced PE class last year than anybody else ever has, and I know that Colby Rasmussen has quietly become a leader in this school because he continued to make the right decisions when he continued to make the right decisions when those always weren't the easiest choices. I also know that you came in as freshmen singing Old Town Road. We couldn't get your minds off of Fortnite. Our biggest concerns as adults was you lot eating Tide Pods. It's incredible how much simpler those times are. Sorry. As Tommy Callahan, Chris Farley's character in Tommy Boy said, you can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking your head up a bull's backside, but wouldn't you rather take the butcher's word for it? Today, I'm going to be your butcher. Preparing for today has been a blast. Moments like this make you think back to the exact moment of your own life. I was in El Dorado, Kansas. I graduated in the class of 1999. When I walked across the stage, they announced Tyler Smith, son of Kathleen Cry and Cree McLaughlin. Tyler plans on attending Northwestern Oklahoma State to play baseball while pursuing a degree in education. Simple, right? Because I'm here. Somehow I was able to do that. But mercy, there were detours, speed bumps, darn near derailments. But here we are. Much like you guys, I was into music. And if you've ever been to one of my PE classes or in the weight room with me, road trips, you know that I'm a fan of 90s music, specifically bad 90s rap. When I was your age, an artist named Skee-Lo dropped a single and an album entitled I Wish. Skee-Lo eloquently said, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat with a bat and a 6'4" Impala. Okay? I talked earlier about what I know, but there wasn't a lot I knew at your age. I wish that somebody would have told me that the 5 years after this moment, after today, have the potential to shape your life more than any other 5-year stretch in your life. Some of you are off to college. Some of you are headed directly to the workforce. Some of you are headed to represent our country. The second you walk across this stage, you're an adult in the world's eyes. Over the next 5 years, some of you will meet your significant other. Some of you will get married. Some of you will become parents, planned or not. Some of you might have successes that you've never dreamt about. And some of you will have a break so bad that you will never recover. That is real life. Between the ages of 18 and 23, that's no joke. Life can whoop you. I was the pallbearer at 3 separate funerals of high school classmates: Christopher Brock Poe, Bo D. Gaines, and Charlie Thomas Myers. I then made horrible decisions myself. I coped with grief in very, very unhealthy ways. But I'm here today because I thought of Skee-Lo, and I thought, at this moment, I want to share with you things I wish I would have known at graduation. I wish I would have known that I need to find my passion. Now listen to this closely. I didn't say your job is going to be your passion. I didn't say your career or your 9 to 5 will be your passion. We live in a society today where people feel like they're too good for certain employment or a specific job does not fit their life. I didn't learn this lesson until I took a longer look at my mother's life. Self-help gurus, life coaches, they can tell you to make your career your passion. Unfortunately, that is not reality. My mother always worked multiple jobs, and with those multiple jobs came long, tough hours. But her passion wasn't work. She worked to fuel her passion. As an only child growing up in a one-parent house, it's safe to say that my mom worked her tail off to make sure that I did not go without. She also never missed an event in my life. My mother passed away in 2015, but looking back, I realized that I was her passion. She wasn't passionate about working double shifts at the jail, weekends at a convenience store, or nights at the YMCA. Nope, she did those things for me. I'm not telling you not to chase your passions, but I'm telling you real life does not care about your passions. You need to provide. I wish I would have known to see the world from other people's points of view. This is where we're going to need some help, okay? We're not going to need to stand up, but I'm going to ask you guys a question. Everybody has to be loud, everybody, okay? And I don't want the answer. I'm going to ask you the question, I'm going to count to 3, and you're going to yell the answer, okay? Has everybody got the rules? Everybody got it? Thumbs up if you got it. Okay. What is a pirate's favorite letter? Don't yet. Okay, you're going to yell it when I say 3. 1, 2, 3. I heard a lot of R's, but no. 'Tis the C they love. Okay? Now learn to see things from other people's points of view. The loudest person in the room is not always correct. Now more than ever, there's a divide between who is right and who is wrong, and what is right and what is wrong. We've turned into a society that refuses to listen and see multiple perspectives and different opinions. We can be wrong, we can be right, we can be correct, and we might be completely off the map. It doesn't matter if it's vax versus non-vax, Chris Rock versus Will Smith, Roe versus Wade, Republicans versus Democrats, or Cougars versus Mustangs. Joking. We can all listen to each other. We can all learn from each other. But being loud does not make you correct. I wish I would have known that consistency is boring. Consistency creates habits, and successful habits lead to success. 10 years ago, when I was living and coaching in El Dorado, I was doing all those things that being a summer coach has. I was in the weight room, 6 a.m. workouts, camps, practices, tournaments, typical stuff. At these 6 a.m. workouts, I kept seeing this volleyball and girls basketball coach, super passionate, high energy, extremely well organized, athletic, and beautiful. Absolutely stunning. She had a great smile, if you could figure out how to make her smile. Mind you, I was in my early 30s at the time. I just moved back from England. I was single. She seemed like the perfect person that I needed to meet. So I did what you do. I went and made small talk. Then I found some mutual friends to try to hook us up. And then, nothing. Crickets. She didn't talk to me back. I'm in my early 30s, like I'm in my prime, like I'm rolling, I couldn't figure this out. So I waited patiently, and finally I continued to nag her friends. And then she eventually cracked. We began dating as things got more serious. I saw this woman was crazy with her consistency. The way she treated me, the way she treated her life, the way she treated every single habit. I wasn't a huge fan of this at first. My life was extremely inconsistent. I was burning the candle at both ends and making poor choices. But as soon as I took a step back, I could see how successful her life was because of these habits that had turned into her behaviors. So I changed my habits too. These habits took discipline, and discipline has led to the success that we both share. 10 years after our first date, this beautiful redhead and I have been married for almost 7 years. We have 2 beautiful daughters, Blakely and Everly. By all accounts, we're boring as heck, but we're extremely consistent. And without consistency, I wouldn't be the place that I am with you today. It's not about what we do once in a while that shapes our lives. It's about what we do consistently. Being consistent also means always being present. I had a middle school coach once tell me, Tyler, you're not very good, but you're always here. That might be the best advice I've ever received. I'm constantly and consistently present. As a teacher, as a coach, as a member of the community, and more importantly, as a husband and father, you need to make sure you are consistently present. I wish I would have known that don't be afraid to chase your dreams. This is the most basic cliche graduation topic there is. And you've all heard chase your dreams for as long as you can remember. But let me rephrase this. Own your dreams. Living with a single mother, she always worked those multiple jobs like I discussed earlier. The point that I'm making about these dreams is that growing up, my dreams had nothing to do with money. Even without a wealthy family, I lived a great childhood. My dreams were completely different than my friends. They would talk about jobs and houses and cars they wanted. I stayed quiet because I was kind of scared of my dreams. All right, my biological father died in June of my kindergarten year. My mother remarried and eventually got divorced. Despite the divorce, my stepfather stayed in my life. However, it wasn't normal, like the stuff you see on TV. My dream was simple. My dream was to be a teacher and a coach. I wanted to be the type of teacher and coach that Brad Long, Gary Melcher, and Gary McCatherine were for me. I dreamt of being a husband. And I dreamt of being a dad. There for my kids every damn time they needed me. I am living my dream. Now this part's extra credit. This is something I already knew. In high school, I was voted friendliest. I graduated with 150 people. I knew everybody in my class. At my 10-year high school reunion, I made it a point to know everybody's name and say hi. I learned the one thing that I can always control is how I handle situations and people. Most of my success, if not all of it, comes from the way that I treat others. You guys know this better than anybody. I'm not the smartest person. I'm not the hardest worker. I haven't always gotten the best breaks, but I'm here with you. I just completed my 16th or 17th year of teaching. I told you I'm not very smart because I value you and all of you. Class of 2022, thank you. Not just for today, but for this little time in your life, because I have been able to be a part of it. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, for that great speech. Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Nguyen, and I am Senior Class President. The Class of 2022 extends our gratitude to everyone for joining us today to celebrate this momentous occasion. If you already can't tell by the shakiness of my voice or the sweat dripping down my face, I am very nervous to be up here in front of many, many people trying to give the greatest speech of my life. However, I am also beyond honored to be here and so proud of my fellow classmates who have worked so hard to overcome the difficulties of high school. Now, I know a lot of typical graduation speeches start with reminiscing the good old days of freshman year. However, I'd rather not relive our past of horrible facial acne and braces. So today, to spare us all some pain, I'll fast forward 4 years and skip to the good part, senior year. I've always found comfort in stories and books. Each book brings a new friend, and each chapter a new adventure. As I look out at the graduating class of 2022, I can't help but think we're so fortunate to have written the chapters of our high school story together. And I can't wait for the sequel as we head off to start the story of our lives. In all the books we've read, every story begins with a setting, including ours. We all walked into our first day of school at South High with full confidence, knowing that we were finally the top dogs and can no longer be considered an underclassman. We promised ourselves that this would be the year where we would try our best to get good grades, finally start acting like an adult, and begin making plans on how we wanted our life to look like in the future, even if it scared us just thinking about it. The characters in our story include our beloved teachers who were always there for us and wanted what was best for us, despite the insane amount of homework we were given. The parents or family members who pushed us to do well and to not stay out too late on school nights. And the forever friends we made throughout the years, who were there for every achievement, failure, heartbreak, and to loan you $1 when Paul Mart was selling cookies. Everyone has that special person or people that was there for them, no matter what the situation was. These certain individuals helped us through hardships we encountered during times when we didn't think we'd make it out in one piece. Because of their encouragement and unconditional support, we were able to find the strength to keep going. Hold on to the people who you keep close to your heart, because those are the ones who will always push you to be the best version of yourself. Our high school book is filled with many chapters we've written together throughout the years. Chapter 1, Homecoming and Friday Night Lights. FNL is more than just a football game. It's the memories we made while dressing up for every theme, the way we'll never forget the iconic Cougar chants, the long lines at Poncho's after, and how bad our throats hurt the next day from cheering for our team all night long. About 2 months into school, a few of us, okay, maybe all of us, were still struggling to get into the habit of doing our homework. We were too wrapped up in the fun and excitement of homecoming and football to remember that we had an English essay due at 7:45 the next morning. However, we were able to forget about our problems for once and dance the night away at homecoming. Chapter 2 is what I'd like to call the beginning of senioritis. It was around this time that college applications and scholarships started to open up. Many of us knew exactly where we wanted to go and which scholarships to apply for, but others were still undecided. It was a very stressful time as we didn't know if we would get accepted into our dream schools or if we would be able to even figure out which school was the best fit for us. I'd also like to just take a moment and acknowledge the struggles many of us faced before winter break. As I looked around my classrooms, all I saw were tired faces and students trying their absolute best to stay awake. We were simply burnt out, and the only thing on our minds was passing our finals. I remember so many of us thought we'd never make it, but I also remember how we found perseverance, determination, and the energy to keep going. Each and every one of you guys should hold pride in yourselves for how far you've come just to be here today. Every time you felt like giving up, you found a reason to keep going, and that's going to be a valuable asset that will get you through life. Chapter 3, the perks of being a senior. Although this last year of high school was very hard for some of us, we also got to enjoy the best parts of being a senior. We could walk through the hallways and say hello to every teacher like they were one of our own friends. After being here for so long, we got comfortable and we know the school better than anyone else. School dances were even more fun because now our classmates were the ones who were nominated for court royalty. As it would be our last dances, we all dressed to the nines and made it a night to remember. We broke in school records and created new ones, slept in late on senior ditch day, and then spent the rest of it with friends. And not to mention, pulling the most epic senior pranks of all time. However, as we all know, with great power also comes great responsibility. Not only did we have our fun, but we also got to be role models for the underclassmen. We led by example and were great leaders in every sport or activity. It was the time for us to step up and not only be the top dogs at school, but to show everyone how we had matured and prepared ourselves for the future. Our class has left our mark on the school, and our legacy is one that will never be forgotten. Chapter 4, Phase 2 of senioritis. The good news is that there isn't going to be a Phase 3. The bad news is that I'm pretty sure some of us never even made it out of Phase 1. With the school year finally coming to an end, it was difficult to find the strength to keep going. We were so close to the finish line, but at this point, many of us were exhausted. Not only did we face the pressures of keeping up with our schoolwork, but we had graduation duties to fulfill. Planning a party, handing out invites, and perfecting every single detail of our special day was stressful. On top of that, we had to focus and finalize our postgraduate plans, whether that be college, entering the workforce, joining the military, or just taking a year off. It felt like we were on a ticking time bomb and that everything needed to be done by the time school was over. However, with the advice and guidance of our family, friends, and the adults here at South High, we were able to complete our future plans. Chapter 5, Graduation. I don't think it hit us that our high school career was actually ending until we experienced the last of everything. The last time walking in the halls with our friends, the last time goofing off at the lunch table and talking about who knows what, the last time waiting for what felt like hours to finally get out of the parking lot after school, and so many other little things that we'll never get to do again. In all honesty, I'm not sure what the next chapter will be like. I wish I could find our book on Amazon's and read the reviews to find a spoiler, but it's not possible. This should be the most exciting time of our lives, yet so many of us feel overwhelmed. At times, it frightens me to not know how things will go. I don't know if I feel like laughing or crying or just locking myself in my room. However, one thing I do know is I trust the authors of our book, us. When you walk across that stage to receive your diploma, I hope you see it as more than just a piece of paper. It's a symbol of your resilience, hard work, and dedication. The hours you put in to become a successful student is now paying off at this moment. I count on each and every one of you guys to set high expectations for yourself because you deserve nothing less in life. Even though I don't think we've all fully recovered from senioritis, I'm sure we will miss this place, the people, the fun, and all the things it had to offer. Before I end this speech, I want to briefly thank all the teachers and faculty members who've helped us along the way, our friends and family that never left our side, and lastly, a huge thank you to my classmates. Thank you for all the memories. It's definitely been one wild ride. On a final note, no matter where you go or what you become, I hope you'll remember that it was always a great day to be a Cougar.
Thank you, Jennifer. Guests, our ceremony is to honor the class of 2022. Graduation marks one of the most important milestones in a young person's life. Each year, we uphold the outstanding traditions and programs of South High. Most notable for this class are the students we are about to recognize for our Outstanding Class Citizens Award. These two outstanding students have been selected by faculty for demonstrating a marked respect for country, assuming responsibility for improving their school and community, and showing a reverence for life. The outstanding young citizens for the class of 2022 are, please stand when I call your names, Grace Allen and Kaysen Dietz. Thank you, and you may be seated. This year, 21 students achieved a GPA of 4.0 or better every semester throughout their high school career. Students, please stand as I call your names and remain standing until I ask you to be seated. Audience, please hold your applause until all the names have been read. Grace Allen, Ileana Armbrust, Kylie Arnold, Jana Bray, Lainey Brown, Min Bui, Laura Brucker, Riley Cox, Zachary Davidson, Mia Dennett, Calissa Hamill, Lainey Howard, Emmy Latham, Hadley Lawson, Justice Martinson, Jalen Wynn, Zoe Norton, Ariana Nunez, Rohan Patel, Emma Scholda, and Adeline Weissar. Congratulations on your accomplishment. Let's hear it for these students. Please remain standing. We would also like to recognize the top 10% of this year's graduating class. Will the following students also please stand to be recognized? Hayden Chamberlain, Kylie Carter, Avery McComber, Clark McKenzie, Evan Patchett, and Ashley Skeef. Please join me in congratulating the top 10% of this year's graduating class. Congratulations, and you may be seated. We are very pleased that we are able to conduct this ceremony and to gather together to celebrate these students for their hard work and achievement. Please be respectful of our graduates and their families and friends. I ask you to refrain from any air horns or artificial noisemakers and allow for families to hear the names of each and every graduate. Thank you. Graduating class of 2022, please stand at this time. President Fletcher, members of the USD 305 Board of Education, Superintendent Exline, faculty, parents, relatives, and guests. Each member of this graduating class has completed the academic requirements as mandated by the Kansas State Department of Education, USD 305, and Salina South High School. Each member of the class of 2022 is recommended to receive a diploma. At this time, it is my honor and privilege to present the class of 2022. Congratulations, it's now time for the presentation of the diplomas.
Emily Elaine Adams. McKaylee Aaron Ailes. Elena Marie Allen. Grace Marie Allen. Colton E. Ames. Marcus Antonio Anariba. Perry A. Anderson. Natalia Caridad Arellano. Ileana Elizabeth Armbrust. Kylie M. Arnold. Luisa Talisha Autry Montoya. Abram Bear. Kylie J. Bathon. Parker A. Benoit. Trey Jerome Berland. Mason Michael Bettles. Seth Ronald Blase. Elizabeth Jean Boswell. Grace Bull. Samantha Bull. Jana Sue Bray. Kai J. Briscoe. Lainey R. Brown. Laura Annabelle Brucker. Lily M. Boy. Addison Johanna Burr. Balin Annalise Calderon. Hannah Valeria Camacho Romero. Emma Louise Campbell. Tiffany E.J. Campbell. Kylie Mae Carter. Seth David Carter. Hayden E. Chamberlain. Audrey Nicole Lucille Chestnut. Mackenzie Lynn Clark. Jacob Cooper. Kaylee Danielle Cooper. Carter J. Copes. Rhett T. Corbett. Gracia Daniela Cortez Moreno. Brant David Cox. Riley Elizabeth Cox. Zachary A. Davidson. Nestor Alonso De Leon Montanez. Mia Quinn Dennett. Chelsea Lynn Murray Dennison. Cadence J. Dixon. Jarrett Hubert Dietrich. Kason J. Dietz. Brandon Den. Jennifer Guadalupe Duenas. Jordan Richard Duke. Alexa Lauren Duncan. Skylar Ryan Durr. Landon Reese Dvorak. Tiana Edwards. Josue N. Escalante. Alexander Escobedo Dominguez. Malia Nicole Ferrier. Angel Felix Sanchez. Brandon Michael Nunez Fletcher. Janessa N. Franson. Joshua Thomas Frick. Braseda Garcia Fajardo. Christian Garcia. Edgar J. Garcia. Jimena Isabella Garcia. Shai Ann Gaston. Brian Leigh Gillis. Kyra S. Gonzalez. Guadalupe Gonzalez. Jocelyn Guerrero. Jalen Patrice Gutierrez. Dylan Nicole Hawes. Marissa Lynn Hazy. Kalissa R. Hamill.
Lillian Pearl Hanks. Emily Hatchett. Michael Keith Polson Hauser. Isaiah J. Hayden. Isaac Richard Hurd. Mackenzie Lee Hemberger. Rodolfo Hernandez. Aiden S. Huseman. Trenton Hodges. Christopher Sol Hockett. Journey Sine Holcomb. Lainey M. Howard. Rylan L. Humphrey. Kylie Ann Hutton. Dawson Allen Jameson. Colton A. Jensen. Laura B. Jensen. Darren M. Jester. Delilah Valin Jimenez. Alexis Michelle Johnson. Trevor T. Johnson. Mason Daniel Jones. Layla Denise Jordan. Teresa Ann Carber. Angelina Carell. Aaliyah Marie Clausen. Ethan Ryan Lanier. Carter E. Lambeth. Tyler Michael Lamia. Anna Valeria Lara Castro. Emmy Joe Latham. Shay Myron Lafort. Ashlyn Nadine Leidig. Isaac J. Leonard. Michael David Lewis, Jr. Denisha Sarai McGee. Anthony A. Martinez. Lucia Arsinia Martinez. Luzalena Martinez. Justice K. Martinson. Leliana Genevieve Elisa Masaniai. Avery R. McCumber. Hunter Lane McCubbin. Jaden Taylor McLaughlin. Daniel H. McMullen. William J. Mancannon. Leslie Mendez Esparza. Jake Gleason Meyer. Caden M. Milholland. Desiree Nicole Miller. Bryson Thomas Mitchell. Chloe Cameron Mitchell. Victoria R. Molina. Braxton Levi Moracle. Thomas Lynn Moyer. Litzelin Munoz. Devin Jacoby Myers. Brooklyn A. Needham. Drew E. Nelson. Jacob M. Newman. Jalen Simone Wynn. Nini Hin Wynn. Tommy J. Wynn. Ivy L. Nichols. Maylene Nieto Cepeda. Phoebe Allison Norris. Zoe B. Norton. Jaden Robert Norwood. Neon Nonlasi. Angelina Nunez. Ariana Nunez.
Kaylin J. Olson. Jose Rafael Ortega. Robert Ray Pace. Alexandro Palacios. Aiden Parson. Evan Christopher Patchett. Rohan Prakash Patel. Sydney A. Peterson. Kiera Pimentel. Jarrett Pittenger. Ellie Marie Power. Cameron Wayne Preble. Joseph Francis Priester II. Trenton K. Pewitt. Colby Harris Ray Rasmussen. Orion Reeves. Macy Reed. Samantha Elizabeth Reyes. Leonardo Reyes Puerta. Kylie Michelle Rivera. Elizabeth R. Rodden. Alicia Rodriguez. Jose Angel Rodriguez Luna. Shayla Taylor Rodriguez. Sebastian James Rotina. Chance Chavez Rosales. Hannah G. Rowland. Blake Allen Royce. Luke W. Sajak. Zachary Robert Salas. Jessica Lorena Salinas. Camden B. Shaley. Jacob M. Scoville. Eliza Mackenzie Searcy. Jet E. Seifert. Deshaun Omar Shackleford. Aaliyah Danielle Shaw. Emma Claire Schulda. Rachel Yaneth Sims. Ashley L. Skeef. Gabriel Kai Smith. Braz Colton Snook. Singnoy Savannarith. Jackson S. Sprecher. Mercedes Lane Springsteen. Dalton Stark. Lauren M. Stein. Shelby Peyton Stolzenberg. Jet A. Striffler. Marcus Lamont Sutherland. Macy K. Sutton. Isaac Tabaris. Jesse Lee Tarver. Tarver. Isaac J. Taylor. Annalie Thomas. Yesenia Torres. Kylie Ann Turner. Chase C. Umscheid. Amanda Lynn June Upshaw. Madison M. Vanoy. Reagan C. Van Pelt. Natalie J. Vincent. Sierra Jane Walsh. Eva L. Watson. Lakin Dax Webb. Caitlin E. Wadey. Adeline Marie Weizar. Ben X. Wieland. Kellyanna Whitney Whitaker. Timothy Dale Wilcher. Paige Madison Williamson. Dyson Daniel Edward Wisby. Channa Rochelle Wolf. Daniel Joseph Woodard. Tyler E. Woodhull. Aslan Yeager. Yurixa Paola Zalea.
Hadley Lynn Lawson. Angelina M. Maybrier. Jennifer Wynn.
My name is Hadley Lawson, and I am the senior class secretary. Before we close tonight's ceremony, on behalf of all the faculty, staff, and administration of South High, congratulations. Today you are high school graduates, a milestone you've aimed for since walking into kindergarten 13 years ago. After spending the last 4 years with all of you, I'm confident that I'm looking at the world's future medical professionals, law enforcement, politicians, educators, engineers, and so much more. As we exit this building today, remember all the long nights, endless hours of homework, late night football games with the best student section, and great friendships that brought you here today. Your hard work has not gone unnoticed. Take great pride in your achievements and savor the lessons that the last 4 years have taught us. We want to thank our families that supported us along this journey, and more importantly, the teachers of South High. High school wouldn't have been high school without learning the Ballinger method in pre-calc, listening to Mr. Harris talk about his job at the pet store, Mrs. Chamberlain and her cat chemistry jokes, or Mr. Ebert, which is just self-explanatory. This final farewell hardly does the last 4 years justice. This moment has prepared us all for the lessons life holds. Congratulations, class of 2022. Let this be a final goodbye to Salina South High School and a welcoming to our future endeavors. I would ask at this time for all of the audience to please remain seated until all of the graduates have left the arena. Class of 2022, please stand. It is now time to celebrate. You may now transfer your tassel.